Hi, what's up, y'all? It's Poppin' It's D. About to react to this impressive vid. It's titled Jeannie Mai exposes Jeezy for roughing her up. Multiple DV incidents revealed. And Jeezy denies claims. Damn. This is wild. So the drama is escalating between these two. This is getting really messy. Let's see what she's claiming exactly. Let's watch.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Impressive Channel. The divorce filing between Jeannie Mai and Jeezy is getting messier and messier, y'all. Because Jeannie is now accusing Jeezy of putting his hands on her. Not once, not twice, but 4 different times.
Oh,
she is accusing him of DV. Yes, you heard correctly. Now, the Shade Room did acquire court documents that was recently submitted by Jeannie. And in the documents, Jeannie said that back in April 14th of 2022...
Why was she trying to save the marriage then if he was putting his hands on her? That's wild. But I mean, victims do behave in questionable ways. So, wouldn't be the first time.
They had an incident at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel, and Jeezy allegedly choked her out and pushed her down the stairs. And this caught the attention of one of the hotel's security guards. Also, there were some records of Jeezy allegedly calling Jeannie an effing B word. And he said, "I could do so much better than you." Security allegedly intervened and provided Jeannie with protection after she repeatedly stated, "I feel unsafe." Another incident allegedly occurred 3 weeks after Jeannie gave birth to her daughter Monaco in January 2022. Jeannie and Jeezy...
Wait, when was the first situation? I wasn't keeping track of the dates like that. But I'm assuming she's going in order. So you experienced that prior to getting pregnant? Like, obviously, my heart goes out to victims, but it just really upsets me when they're going through an abusive situation and they still have a child by their abuser. Like, so you're going to bring a child into the abusive situation to suffer with you and to be there while you're going through all this mess and this toxicity with this person. Like, that really upsets me. I said the same thing about Keke Palmer with her dude, because she also detailed how, things were taking place before she got pregnant. And he was putting his hands on her prior to. And I'm just like... But again, victims, they don't act in the most logical ways. But it's just like, bro.
We're allegedly having an argument in the car, and Jeezy told the driver to step outside, and he began to berate Jeannie, and he called her a W-H-O-R-E and said, "I can't wait to divorce you when we get back." Oh. He held her against her will in the car, and when she tried to escape, Jeezy bopped her in the face, right across her eye and cheekbone. And they did try to get counseling from their pastor and their therapist. In fact, these DV incidents were reported to their pastor, therapist, and Jeannie's close friend. So 3 people have this on record. And honestly, I don't believe Jeannie is lying. I don't. There were some more allegations as well. Back in December 17, 2022, Jeezy and Jeannie attended the UNCF event. And Jeannie went to the restroom with one of her friends. And Jeezy allegedly was mad because he didn't know where she went for about 25 minutes. And when she got back, he demanded that they leave the party. And once they got into the car, Jeezy asked the driver to exit, and he began to berate and put his hands on Jeannie. She said that she tried to exit the car 2 times, but he grabbed the neckline of her dress and tore it, and he kind of put his fingernails in her skin. And Jeannie reported this incident to the therapist while Jeezy was present. She also told her best friend about the incident as well. Also, there's another incident where Jeezy allegedly injured Jeannie and himself after crashing in a golf cart. Now, Jeezy did give an exclusive to the Jasmine brand, and he vehemently denies Jeannie's claims. He first put out a statement saying this: "The allegations are not only false, but also deeply disturbing, especially coming from someone I loved. This malicious attempt to tarnish my character and disrupt my family is ridiculous. It's disheartening to witness the manipulation and deceit at play, and at this time, my main concern is being an active father to our daughter as I continue to fight for court-mandated joint custody. Rest assured the truth will prevail through the proper legal channels." And he also said the pictures of the injuries that Jeannie sent to the court were actually from a golf cart accident.
Baby done getting my hair cut. Come on, go straight up so I can tell you good night. Okay.
Not from him putting his hands on her. So he posted the text messages to show the proof, and he also posted the date. So this golf cart accident happened in June 2022. But to me, this doesn't exactly disprove the other DV incidents.
Right, okay, that's one situation. But she's saying that she disclosed this to 3 other people at the time that it happened. So what they talking about? So if they are on record, like, saying, like, yes, she did tell us this back then you gotta stop, brother.
Happened. Jeannie seems to have evidence to back up her claims. For one, you have 3 other people who can attest to these DV incidents, including her pastor, her therapist, and one of her...
Yo, pastor, therapist, like, these are people who, you know, people would believe what they're saying, you know. So, I don't know.
Close friends. Not only that, there was also a report that was filed from the incident that happened at the Ritz-Carlton. And this report was filed from the security guard who actually...
Obviously, anybody can lie. You know, it doesn't mean that they're 100% telling the truth. But what are the chances? Like...
About the incident from a lounge server who witnessed what happened. And I'm going to read the report. It said LP Base received a call in regards to a domestic dispute in the lounge bar
has no affiliation with her.
22:21, which is 10:21 p.m. at night. Lounge server stated that guest Mr. Jenkins had pushed Miss Jeannie Mai Jenkins down the steps leading to the main lobby. IL5 responded to the call, and upon arrival, I noticed Mr. and Mrs. Jenkins arguing. I approached the guest and continued to sit on the lobby bar area and requested 5 minutes to discuss the things alone. After the giving time, I spoke to both guests, telling them they needed to continue their conversation elsewhere because it was disrupting other guests. Guests moved from P37 hallway and continued their conversation. Mr. Jenkins requested I get his 4 Louis Vuitton bags from the room, and as I was in the process, I called back to assist due to Miss Jenkins beginning to raise her voice, resulting me to have to put the luggage retrieval on hold. Mr. Jenkins requested to go outside and get some fresh air to talk. Mrs. Jenkins also had previously stated that she felt unsafe being alone with him and requested I was nearby. Guests talked near valet office and then moved themselves to the front desk where Mr. Jenkins got another room key to retrieve the rest of his belongings. Mr. Jenkins continued to try to press the issue of wanting to converse with his wife, but due to Mrs. Jenkins' comment stating that she was done talking, I told Mr. Jenkins he needed to willingly walk away from the situation or I was going to have to call the police. Both guests went up to the room, but Mrs. Jenkins requested I came along because she still felt unsafe being with him by herself and wanted me to make sure she came out the room unharmed. I escorted both guests and they continued their conversation in the room. Mr. Jenkins wanted me to wait outside, but I stated I could not due to his wife's fear of her safety. After their conflict, Mr. Jenkins made me aware that he was getting another room and to have his personal belongings, which were previously retrieved, ready in the front desk for when he came down to pick up his new room key. I then spoke to Mrs. Jenkins and said that she did not need any more assistance and Mr. Jenkins will come down to pick up his room key when he was
trifling.
Ready. This right here is a lot. This right here is a lot. And this doesn't look good for Jeezy. I'm going to tell you that right now. And Jeezy tried to pull a fast one. He did. He divorced Jeannie Mai before she could beat him to the punch.
Okay, here she go. You was doing so good in press. Here you go, girl. That don't make no goddamn sense because she was trying to save her marriage. She's on record saying that she's fighting for her marriage. She still wanted to be with him. So it's not giving that he rushed to do it because she was about to do it first. No, she was still trying to stay with him after all this, which also makes me side-eye her as well because it's like, okay, you want to put this out now and take this to the courts now because you see that he's standing on business with this divorce and you see that there clearly isn't a chance for y'all to get back together. That's a bit odd. It's just like, okay, so whatever, bro. They both, you know what? Mainly Jeezy, though, obviously. He's the one at fault. He's the one putting his hands on her. But
kind of made it seem like something was off with Jeannie. He insinuated that he was cheated on and lied to.
Right.
And a lot of us felt like he was talking about Jeannie Mai. And I will admit, at first, I didn't give Jeannie as much grace because I thought she played a part in their split because she talked about her own anger issues. And
you did say that.
That doesn't sound good because if she
did
has an
make
anger
it
problem,
seem like she was the
I know
aggressor.
Jeezy wouldn't want to put up with that.
For example, I have a really hot temper.
Girl,
I didn't notice that I had a hot temper until I got with Jeezy. And here's a person who is my equal and I really respect. And when I would spew some of my old habits, and he was like, like, who? That's not flying here. And also, it would trigger him to come back at me with things where I was like, who the f do you think you are? But I was triggering him.
So you see Jeannie admitted to triggering Jeezy and antagonizing him at times, but this doesn't give Jeezy an excuse
to put his hands on her.
Either. Two wrongs don't make a right, and Jeannie is not the only one who has a temper. I mean,
and verbal abuse, you can't say, "Oh, okay, well, you verbally abused me, I can physically abuse you now." Like that. That's not how that works either. But clearly, they both are a mess because her admitting that, it's like mess across the board. But yeah, he's definitely wrong. His big ass with this big ass egghead, you putting your hands on this little woman.
Obviously Jeezy has a temper too, and he was arrested one time for roughing up his teenage son back in the day. So he's not innocent either. They both contributed to the toxicity in their marriage. However, Jeezy took it too far by being physically aggressive with Jeannie. And that's a no-no. There's no excuse for that. He's wrong. And I know he filed for divorce first and he tried to enforce that prenup because he wanted to skirt around having to pay Jeannie some alimony. But I'll tell you one thing, he's going to have to pay her a huge settlement when it's all said and done. And he will be paying her child support too. So Jeezy is screwed. He's screwed. Anyway, tell what y'all think about this.
Very much so. I hope she presses charges because that's fucked up. That he has abused her this many times. Like, this is wild. But yes, I definitely feel like she could have made some better decisions as well. And I know whenever you speak on, what the victim did wrong, people are so quick to be like, I'm victim blaming. It's like, bro, everybody should be held accountable for their bad decisions. Just because you become a victim, that does not make you exempt. That doesn't make us look at you like you're this perfect angel and you cannot get any criticism at all. You did everything perfect. Oh, big bad wolf, it's only the other person. No, you also should be held accountable for the role that you played in the situation as well. Okay, let's be clear. So, yes, I feel like she definitely should have made some better decisions in this situation for sure, especially you're bringing a child into the equation as well. That irritates me when people do that. So, she shouldn't have done that, A, and B, you admitting that you were verbally abusive. Like, that's also an issue as well. But, of course, he's dead wrong, obviously. Let's make that clear. People who can't comprehend English well, he's for sure wrong, and I think she should press charges, and he should face some time for putting his hands on this woman, because that's fucked up, and there are several witnesses who can attest that he put his hands on her. So his egghead ass trying to come out and be like, well, this is all lies, when she got all this proof, like, fuck out of here. Press all the charges, get all the money you can. That's what I say to her. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know what other videos you're going to watch, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!